The barbell box squat is a great lower body strength training exercise that can be performed before pregnancy and pretty much all the way through pregnancy, as long as you're monitoring the load. So if you're someone who's accustomed to pretty heavy box squatting, then just pay attention to how you feel. If you're feeling any excess pressure and like downward pressure on your pelvic floor, or you're feeling like you're not totally stable in your core, then you might want to reduce the load a little bit, or you could even reduce the range of motion slightly if you wanted to. But for most people, if they're proficient in barbell box squatting, they're going to be fine to do it throughout their entire pregnancy. So a couple things to note: the box squat is different than the squat to box. So a squat to box is where you squat back and you barely tap your bum onto the bench, and it's usually used to gauge depth. Now the box squat is where you actually put your weight on the bench and then you have to drive up out of the hole. So Jessie's going to demonstrate. She's going to get underneath the barbell. So she's going to put her hands a little wider than shoulder width. She's going to squeeze her back together and basically create a shelf on which the bar is going to sit. She's going to pull her elbows underneath her a little bit, and she's going to stand up with the bar on her back. She's going to take a couple steps back, and she's going to have either a box or a bench set up behind her. She's going to get in the squat position that feels best for her, and that looks like it's a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, with toes turned out about 15 degrees. She's going to make sure her ribs are over her hips and her core is lightly braced. She's going to drive her knees out as she sits back into her hips. She's going to put her weight on the bench, then she's going to brace her core to stand back up. So give us a couple reps, Jessie. Good. You'll notice she's putting her weight on the bench, but she's not slamming down into the bench. She's controlling her pelvis. She's not doing a crazy rock where she pulls her pelvis underneath her. Good. Give us one more. Driving her knees out. Perfect. You can rack it and you walk forward and make sure. Good. You rack it. Now, if this had plates on it, we would absolutely put clips or collars on either side. If something ever went wonky with your squat, the last thing you want is for half the weights to fall off one side and then you're in a big trouble. So we're just showing you with the unloaded barbell right now so you can see Jessie's entire body. But the box squat is fantastic for teaching people to sit back into their hips. A lot of women have a tendency to let their knees drift forward in their squat, or they plie out. So it's good for teaching people to sit back into their hips. It's also good for teaching to brace the core and come up off without letting the pelvis and the core get wonky. And so that is the barbell box squat.